The Silent Challenger. The Galactic Combat Tournament was the most prestigious fighting competition in the known universe. For 3 millennia, warriors from 1,000 worlds had come to test their strength, speed, and combat prowess against the best the galaxy had to offer. Species that had evolved under crushing gravity showcased impossible strength. Beings born in the vacuum between stars demonstrated reflexes that seemed to bend time itself. Warriors engineered for combat displayed fighting techniques perfected over generations. And then there was Earth, the newest member of the Galactic Council, admitted only 8 standard cycles ago after their discovery of faster-than-light travel. A backwater planet from an unremarkable solar system that most species had never heard of until recently. Welcome to the 3276th Galactic Combat Tournament. I'm your host, Sex Talon, joined by my esteemed colleague Brill Vortek, announced the 6-armed commentator, his skin shifting through iridescent blues and greens with excitement. Brill, a massive creature resembling a cross between a bear and a rhinoceros, snorted dismissively. Let's not waste time with pleasantries, Zex. The betting pools are going wild over the human entry. His gravelly voice rumbled through the arena speakers. First time Earth has sent anyone. And honestly, I'm wondering why they bothered. The massive arena, carved from a single asteroid and encased in a protective energy dome, hummed with the excited chatter of over 50,000 spectators. Holographic screens displayed statistics, odds, and fighter biographies as the tournament's opening ceremony concluded. Speaking of which, Zex Talon continued, let's take a look at Earth's representative. Hiroshi Nakamura stands at, is this right, only 175 centimeters tall and weighs a mere 70 kilograms. Laughter erupted from several sections of the crowd. No augmentations, no exoskeleton, not even basic genetic enhancements. Brill added, barely containing his amusement. According to his bio, he practices something called ninjutsu, some ancient Earth combat form that hasn't been updated in centuries. In the fighter's preparation chamber beneath the arena, Hiroshi Nakamura sat cross-legged on the floor, eyes closed, breathing steady. His black guy was unadorned save for a small red circle over his heart, the flag of Japan. Unlike the other competitors who surrounded themselves with trainers, medics, and support teams, Hiroshi sat alone. Next to him, a massive draconian warrior named Krelvax was bellowing as his attendants attached serrated metal plates to his already formidable claws. He paused his roaring to glance down at the human. You will die quickly, little Earth thing, Krelvax growled, his forked tongue flicking between razor-sharp teeth. I will make it painless out of respect for your journey here. Hiroshi opened his eyes but did not look at the draconian. Thank you for your concern, he said quietly, his accent thick, but his words precise. This calm response seemed to irritate Krelvax more than any challenge would have. With a final snarl, he stomped away, his tail leaving a deep groove in the metal floor. When the announcement came for the first round of matches, Hiroshi was paired against Grax the Pulverizer, a champion from the high-gravity world of Terralus Prime. Standing over 3 meters tall with dense musculature and metallic bone reinforcements, Grax was a crowd favorite. This is going to be brief and brutal, Brill announced as Hiroshi entered the arena. Grax has crushed opponents twice this human size. The odds are currently 250 to 1 against Earth. Hiroshi walked calmly to the center of the arena, his steps light and measured. He wore no armor, carried no weapons. The crowd's mockery was almost deafening. Some spectators were recording the moment, expecting it to become a viral sensation across the galactic network. Grax entered to thunderous applause, raising his 4 massive arms to the crowd. Each limb could exert enough force to crush Durasteel. His smile revealed teeth that had been replaced with industrial diamond. Begin, boomed the automated referee. What happened next would later be replayed billions of times across thousands of worlds. Grax charged, the ground shaking beneath his enormous weight. His first punch carried enough force to shatter a small vehicle. Hiroshi simply wasn't there when it landed, having moved with such fluid grace that many spectators thought they'd blinked and missed something. The arena fell silent as Grax looked around in confusion. The human stood behind him now, still in the same relaxed posture. What in the void? Zex Talon gasped. Did anyone see him move? Grax roared and unleashed a barrage of strikes, each one missing as Hiroshi seemed to flow around them like water around rocks. After 30 seconds of increasingly desperate attacks, Grax was breathing heavily, while Hiroshi hadn't broken a sweat. Is he toying with Grax? Brill asked incredulously. Then, in a movement too fast for most spectators to follow, Hiroshi struck. A single precise blow to a nerve cluster behind Grax's second left arm. The massive alien froze, his eyes widening in shock before he collapsed to the ground, completely immobilized. Silence gripped the arena. What just happened? Zex Talon whispered into his microphone. The medical team rushed in, confirming that Grax was alive but somehow paralyzed. Hiroshi bowed respectfully to his fallen opponent before walking calmly back to the preparation area. In the VIP section, tournament director Vos Nair leaned forward, his compound eyes narrowing. Get me everything on this human and this ninjutsu. Now. The stunned silence gave way to frenzied discussion. Bookmakers scrambled to adjust odds while tactical analysts reviewed the match footage frame by frame. Hiroshi's second match came against Zelfar, a Vespidian assassin whose neurotoxic stingers and lightning-fast reflexes had claimed 27 lives in previous tournaments. The odds had shifted dramatically, now only 30-1 against the human. After that shocking first round, I don't know what to expect, Zex Talon admitted. Zelfar is faster than Grax, but will that be enough? It wasn't. The match lasted 45 seconds. Zelfar's stingers never came within a centimeter of Hiroshi's skin. The human moved with impossible precision, as though he could predict every attack before it happened. When he struck, it was with devastating efficiency, a series of rapid strikes to specific points on the Vespidian's exoskeleton. Zelfar collapsed, his nervous system temporarily overloaded. By the end of the day, Hiroshi had defeated 4 champions from 4 different worlds, using techniques that none of the tournament analysts could fully explain. He never struck with great force, never seemed to exert himself, yet consistently neutralized opponents, many times his size and strength. In the competitors' quarters that evening, the remaining fighters kept their distance from the human, watching him warily. The mocking laughter was gone, replaced by uneasy respect and growing fear. Tournament Security Chief Drax Forlin reviewed the footage with his team for the 10th time. There has to be technology involved. Micro-teleportation, time manipulation, something. All scans negative, sir, his assistant reported. No technology, no augmentations, no genetic enhancements. He's just human. In his private quarters, Hiroshi sat in meditation, a single candle burning before him. On the small table beside him lay a worn photograph of an elderly Japanese man, his sensei. Beneath it, written in careful calligraphy, were the words his master had spoken when Hiroshi was selected to represent Earth. Show them not our strength, but our way. As the tournament's first day concluded, the Galactic networks buzzed with speculation. Odds makers had made Hiroshi the favorite to reach the semifinals. Military observers from a dozen worlds filed urgent reports to their governments. And across Earth, billions watched with growing pride as their representative, their ninja, showed the galaxy that humanity had more to offer than anyone had suspected. The unexpected champion. Dawn broke over the asteroid arena, painting the energy dome in shades of crimson and gold. Tournament officials huddled in emergency session, reviewing security footage and medical scans from the previous day's matches. There must be an explanation, insisted Vos Nair, the tournament director. His tentacles writhed with agitation. No unaugmented species could move like that. All scans confirm it, replied Chief Medical Officer Dr. Felix, her holographic projection flickering slightly. The human uses no technology, no performance enhancements. His cellular structure is completely standard for his species. Then how? Training, interrupted General Crux of the Arcturian Empire, his metallic voice echoing in the chamber. Discipline beyond anything we've encountered. We've been too reliant on technology and biological enhancement. This human has mastered his natural form. Outside the conference room, the arena was filling rapidly. News of the human's performance had spread across the galaxy overnight. Tickets were selling for 10 times their original value. Interstellar betting syndicates were facing potential bankruptcy if Earth's representative continued his winning streak. In the fighter's preparation area, Hiroshi went through his morning routine. Stretching, breathing exercises, meditation. The other competitors no longer mocked him. Instead, they studied his every movement, searching for weaknesses, finding none. Today's quarterfinals will be broadcast to over 70 billion viewers across the Galactic Commonwealth, announced Zex Talon, excitement evident in his voice. The unexpected star of the tournament is undoubtedly Earth's Hiroshi Nakamura, who faces the cybernetically enhanced champion from Proxima Centauri, Commander Vex. Commander Vex had sacrificed 80% of his original body for combat advantages. His arms were weaponized hydraulic presses. His legs contained microthrusters for burst acceleration. His neural pathways had been optimized by quantum computing. He had never lost a match. As both fighters entered the arena, the crowd's energy was palpable. Vex's supporters chanted his name, but there was a new contingent in the stands. Diplomats and tourists from Earth, waving the flags of their nations, cheering for Hiroshi. Begin. Vex attacked with calculated precision, his cybernetic systems predicting optimal strike patterns. His first punch created a sonic boom as it broke the sound barrier, aimed perfectly at Hiroshi's center mass. The human wasn't there. Somehow, he had anticipated the attack and moved just enough to let the massive fist pass harmlessly by. The crowd gasped as Hiroshi flowed around Vex's attacks like smoke, never wasting a movement, never striking back. He's studying him, Brill realized aloud. Looking for weaknesses. 3 minutes into the match, Vex's attacks grew more desperate. His cybernetic systems consumed enormous energy, and they were running hot with the extended combat. Then Hiroshi changed tactics. Instead of simply avoiding attacks, he began redirecting them, using Vex's own momentum against him. A powerful punch meant for Hiroshi's head was subtly guided into the arena floor, cracking the reinforced surface. A kick was redirected into empty air, throwing Vex off balance. The cybernetic champion grew visibly frustrated as his attacks, programmed to be unstoppable, were turned into liabilities. Finally, Hiroshi struck, not with a crippling blow or dramatic attack, but with a series of precise taps to specific points on Vex's cybernetic body. To the audience, it looked almost gentle, like a doctor checking reflexes. Vex froze mid-attack, his systems suddenly unresponsive. "What's happening?" demanded Zex Talon. Hiroshi bowed to his immobilized opponent and walked away. Medical scans revealed that he had somehow disrupted the neural interfaces between Vex's organic brain and cybernetic components, a technique that should have been impossible without advanced technology. The semifinals matched Hiroshi against Krelvax, the draconian who had threatened him before the tournament. The massive reptilian warrior entered the arena with ceremonial blades attached to his tail and claws coated in a paralytic toxin, legal under tournament rules. "Earth has surprised us all," Krelvax announced to the crowd. "But it ends here. No tricks will save you from pure draconian might." For the first time in the tournament, Hiroshi spoke before the match. "I require no tricks, only harmony between mind, body, and spirit." The match began, and for the first time, Hiroshi seemed challenged. Krelvax's attacks came from multiple angles: claws, tail, even acidic spittle that sizzled where it hit the arena floor. The draconian's ancestral hunting instincts gave him an unpredictability that the human initially struggled to counter. A tail swipe caught Hiroshi's guy. tearing the fabric and drawing a thin line of blood. The crowd roared at the first successful strike against Earth's champion. Krelvax pressed his advantage, his movements becoming more frenzied with the scent of human blood. "The human is backing up," cried Brill. "First time we've seen him retreat." But those who understood combat better recognized what was happening. Hiroshi wasn't retreating. He was adapting, learning the Draconian's patterns, finding the rhythm behind the chaos. 5 minutes into the match, longer than any of Hiroshi's previous bouts, the human stopped a powerful claw strike with his bare hand. The crowd fell silent. Somehow, the human had caught the Draconian's arm mid-attack, redirecting its force harmlessly away. "Impossible," whispered Krelvax, genuine fear in his reptilian eyes. In a sequence of movements too fast for most spectators to follow, Hiroshi struck 17 precise points on the Draconian's body. Krelvax collapsed, his nervous system temporarily scrambled, his mighty form rendered helpless. The final match was set. Hiroshi Nakamura of Earth versus Sarn, the unconquered tournament champion for the past 8 cycles. Sarn was the pride of the Zinthuri collective, a species that had evolved specifically for combat, with redundant organs, regenerative abilities, and natural armor plating. As the arena prepared for the championship bout, diplomatic channels across the galaxy hummed with urgent communications. Earth's representative had done more than win matches. He had demonstrated that humanity possessed skills and disciplines that the galactic community had severely underestimated. "Before today's final match," announced Zex Talon, "we have a special message from the Earth Diplomatic Corps." The arena screens displayed Ambassador Chen, Earth's representative to the Galactic Council. Hiroshi Nakamura represents not just one nation, but the diversity of human potential. The art he practices, ninjutsu, is centuries old, developed not for conquest, but for protection, for balance. Win or lose today, we hope the galaxy better understands that Earth brings more to the Commonwealth than technology or resources. We bring perspective. The championship match began with ceremonial introductions. Sarn entered surrounded by attendants, his gold-flecked exoskeleton gleaming under the arena lights. He carried no weapons, his body was weapon enough. "For 7 minutes of combat," Zex Talon explained, "all restrictions are lifted. Lethal force is permitted, though rarely exercised in modern tournaments." Hiroshi entered alone, wearing a new guy to replace his damaged one. This one bore a simple emblem, Earth's continents outlined in blue against white. "Begin." Zarn attacked with controlled fury, each strike calculated yet explosive. Hiroshi evaded, but with more effort than before. The champion's combat experience was evident in how he cut off escape routes, predicted countermoves, and maintained constant pressure. 2 minutes in, Sarn landed a glancing blow to Hiroshi's shoulder, sending the human tumbling across the arena floor. The crowd roared as the champion pressed his advantage, leaping high to deliver a crushing blow. But Hiroshi rolled to his feet with fluid grace, and when Sarn landed, the human was already moving. For the first time in the tournament, Hiroshi took the offensive. His strikes came not with overwhelming power but with surgical precision, targeting nerve clusters, pressure points, and subtle weaknesses in Sarn's natural armor. The champion staggered, momentarily disoriented. Hiroshi pressed forward, his movements no longer purely defensive but forming a perfect balance between attack and defense, strength and flexibility, speed and precision. "This is extraordinary," gasped Brill. "He's using techniques from at least 5 different Earth martial arts traditions, blended seamlessly." In the VIP section, military observers from a dozen worlds were recording every moment, their analysis software struggling to catalog the human's methods. The decisive moment came 6 minutes into the match. Sarn, growing desperate, attempted his species' ultimate attack, a full-body surge of bioelectrical energy designed to stun any opponent within striking range. As the energy crackled around the champion's form, Hiroshi did the unthinkable. He stepped directly into the field. The crowd gasped, expecting to see the human convulse and fall. Instead, Hiroshi moved through specific forms, his hands tracing patterns in the air as he redirected the energy through his body and back to its source. Zarn froze in shock as his own attack returned to him, amplified. He dropped to one knee, his systems temporarily overloaded. In that moment of vulnerability, Hiroshi struck, not with a killing blow, but with a precise tap to the base of Zarn's skull. The champion collapsed, conscious but unable to continue. Silence gripped the arena, then erupted into thunderous applause. Earth's representative, the underestimated human, had become the Galactic combat champion. As medical teams rushed to attend to Ktarn, Hiroshi helped the fallen champion to his feet in a gesture of respect that transcended species. The two warriors bowed to each other, a moment that would be immortalized in artwork across 1,000 worlds. "In my 300 cycles of commentating," Zex Talon said, his voice thick with emotion, "I have never witnessed such a display of skill, honor, and mastery." The award ceremony was broadcast to every corner of the Commonwealth. As Hiroshi accepted the champion's medallion, he finally addressed the galaxy directly. "I came not to prove human superiority, but to share human perspective. True strength lies not in domination, but in harmony. Not in technology, but in understanding. Earth joins the galaxy not as conquerors, but as students and teachers both. This victory belongs not to me, but to all who seek balance in their existence." 3 weeks later, Earth's spaceports were overwhelmed with visitors. Thousands of beings from across the galaxy arrived seeking instruction in Earth's martial arts. Diplomatic treaties that had stalled for years were suddenly approved. Trade agreements favorable to Earth were proposed by species that had previously dismissed the planet as irrelevant. In a small dojo in Kyoto, Hiroshi Nakamura returned to his daily practice, teaching students both human and alien. On the wall hung his tournament medallion beside the worn photograph of his sensei. As he guided his students through basic forms, a message arrived from the Galactic Council. Earth had been granted a permanent seat on the Defense Committee, with Hiroshi named as special advisor on non-technological combat training. The message concluded with words that would become famous throughout human space. "The galaxy laughed at Earth's champion, until he showed us that true strength requires no enhancement, only understanding." Hiroshi smiled, bowed to his sensei's photograph, and continued teaching the next generation of warriors the true meaning of strength.